Something tells me you really need to fix some of the stuff in that sentence. The overload shortened out the time circuits and destroyed the flying circuits. Unfortunately, the car will never fly again. I set myself up as a blacksmith as a front as I attempt to repair the damage to the time circuits. Unfortunately, this proved impossible, for suitable replacement parts won't be invented until 1947. You need an apostrophe for the word won't, and you need to end that with a period and not a comma. However, I've become quite adept at shoeing horses and fixing wagons. I buried the DeLorean in the abandoned Delgado mine adjacent to the old Boot Hill Cemetery, as shown on the enclosed camp. Hopefully, it will remain undisturbed and preserved until you uncover it in 1955. Inside, you will find repair instructions. My 1955 counterpart should have no problem repairing it so you can drive back to the future. Once you return to 1985, destroy the time machine. Do not, I repeat, do not attempt to come back here to get me. I am perfectly happy living here in the fresh air and wide open spaces, and I fear that unnecessary time travel may result in further disruption of the time-space continuum. And please take care of Einstein for me. I know you'll give him a good home. Remember to walk him twice a day and that he only likes canned dog food. These are my wishes. Please respect them and follow them. And so, Marty, I now say farewell and wish you Godspeed. You've been a good, kind, and loyal friend to me, and you have made a real difference in my life. I will always treasure our relationship and will think on you with fond memories, warm feelings, and a special place in my heart. Your friend in time, Doc Emmett L. Brown, September 1st, 1885. No matter how many times Marlene read the letter from this doc, she couldn't figure it out. Supper, Marlene. Marty. Coming. Marlene began to shove the items back into the box, and then out of the black leather coat slipped something metal. 2 items attached by wires clanked to the ground. What's this? Marty asked, picking up the items off the floor. I don't know. And why are you in my room? Shouldn't you be ending that with a question mark and not an exclamation point? Marlene shouted at her little brother. It looks like a capacitor. An old one. Marlene rolled her eyes. Leave it to her brother to know what the piece of junk is. Shouldn't you have there be a period after I's and capitalize the L and leave to make it its own sentence? And shouldn't you have... Oh, never mind. Let's continue. What can you tell me about it? Marlene asked. It hasn't been used since forever. This kind of capacitor isn't used often. You should have that end with a period and have this, what I'm about to read, be its own sentence. Looks like it was made years ago, like before you were born. Where's the period? What about the panel? Marlene asked. It's odd. I've never seen a panel like this before. Destination time, present time, last time visited. Very odd, Marty read. I guess Marty is supposed to be Marty's son, so it should say Marty Jr. so we know who that is. Do you think you can get it working? Marlene asked. Sure, this thing looks like it will run off my hoverboard fusion cells, Marty said. Can you do that for me? Marlene asked. Sure, Marty said, shrugging. Mind if I tighten it up a bit? Marty asked. How tight? Wristwatch size? Don't you mean like shrink it down? Okay, whatever. Marty asked, moving towards the door. Sounds good to me, Marlene said, closing the box. What's in here? Marty asked. A bunch of Dad's stuff, Marlene said, putting the box in her closet. Like what? Marty pressed. Old stuff, Marlene answered. Oh? And stuff that hasn't been made yet, Marlene said. Huh. What's that supposed to mean? Marty asked. It means we're going out after school on Wednesday. To see? Marty pressed. To see what Dad did with his life. Okay, that's the official end of the prologue. So let's move on to Chapter 2, October 21st, 2015, 4:29 p.m. Whew! Ah, it's raining, Marlene complained while running under the hollow movie simplex. Her brother followed. Well, we ruined the ozone layer. What do you expect? Marty said, pushing the auto dry on his jacket. I don't have any buttons, do I? I mean, I have these buttons, but is it saying anything when I'm pressing it? No. Well, in 5 years, I guess I'll be wearing a jacket that will automatically dry me in case I get wet. Your jacket is now dry, it told him. So what do we do? Hello, residents of Hill Valley. This is your favorite weather announcer, Buzz. Beautiful skies expected in 20 seconds, so get out there. It's expected to stay that way for the rest of the day. Catch you later. I know, Buzz is probably actually a guy, but you know, I started reading it with a girly girl voice, so just deal with it. Let's just say he's a very feminine guy. Buzz said, and in those 20 seconds the clouds rolled aside to reveal beautiful blue skies. Well, the receipt said Dad bought a book in that store. I'm guessing that's it, Marlene said, pointing to the almanac in the antique store window. Okay, so, Marty asked. Did you get that watch done? Marlene asked, holding her hand out to him, who placed the wristwatch-sized capacitor in her hand. It looked like a wristwatch. The time circuit board was compacted onto the screen, and under that were the capacitor and the fusion batteries used to power it. So did you find out what it does? Marlene asked. I'm scared to even turn it on, Marty said. I hope you know what you're doing. Oh, be quiet. Go to the cafe or something, Marlene said. Huh? Let's continue. Yeah, I feel like getting a Pepsi, Marty said, leaving. Marlene looked down at the watch and turned the dial to on, and the watch buzzed to life. The time circuits flashed on and displaying several times. One in red showed the time October 26, 1985, 1:21 p.m. under the sign. Destination time. The second in green showed under the label reading present time, which was now October 21st, 2015, 4:48 and counting. Then there was a new board. It read, time of planned departure. The blue numbers were set for October 21st, 2015, 5:20. The last number was yellow, and under the label, time last departed, and was set for September 9th, 1885, 8:30. Cool, Marlene said simply. Ah! What? I'm in a house with other people. If I scream full on, first of all, I'd make you all deaf, and second of all, I'd probably get screamed at for making too much noise. So deal with it. A scream in front of her caught her attention. A hollow picture of jaws clamped down on a cowering boy. Marlene chuckled, but when the boy stood up, she saw it was her brother. She rolled her eyes and began to walk towards him when he said, Sharks still looks fake. So it wasn't fake enough to scare the crap out of you? Marlene stopped and noticed a more firmness in his voice. This was her father. Marlene quickly ducked back behind the parked car as Goldie Wilson III gave his commercial. She peered over the car to see her father walk towards the 80s cafe. So he is here, Marlene said. Then Griff and his gang showed up at the diner and pulled old man Biff out and made him wax his car. Marlene began to walk towards the diner, when out of the alleyway stumbled Marty Jr. and pressed his face against the glass. Marty, wait, Marlene called as he entered the cafe. Griff followed. Oh no, Marlene said, and she ran over to the window. Hey, you're that McFly girl, aren't you? Biff asked. Yeah, what of it? Marlene snapped. What's it like to be the sister of a complete loser? Huh? What in the world are you talking about? Marty Jr. in there. Griff's asking him to come with him in a robbery. I'm gonna send lousy grandson of mine to jail. Okay. And if your brother is stupid enough to tag along, he's going down too. What? Marlene yelled. Think of it as payback to the McFlys, Biff said, getting back to his waxing. What? Marlene asked again, and then Marty burst through the door. Or was it her father? Griff followed, holding a bat. Marty ran over to the girl and said, little girl, I need to use your hoverboard." Marlene smiled. It was her father. He didn't know what a hoverboard was. He took off the handles and took off, trying to keep his balance. Griff's gang hopping on their hoverboards in pursuit. "I have to do something," Marlene said, running to get in her father's path. "Dad, wait," she yelled, jumping in front of him, and they crashed. Marlene squealed as her father knocked her to the ground. "Sorry," he said, and jumped back on the hoverboard. When Marlene looked up again, he was holding on to the back of a passing Jeep. He then accidentally bounced off the roof of a car and flew out over the water and flew to a stop. "There's something very familiar about all this," Biff said. Marlene stood up and ran into the back alley, where she saw a girl propped up on crates. As she approached, she realized something. "Oh my God, it's my mother," she said. Then out of a parked DeLorean came an old man in a yellow coat and silvery metallic glasses. "Hey, you get away from," he began to yell, but then stopped and stared. "Who are you?" he asked. "I'm sorry, I'm leaving now." "Marlene? How do you know my name?" "Great Scott! What are you doing here? Your presence could mess up everything." "Who are you?" The man walked past Marlene and looked around the corner of the alley. "Hello, who are you?" "People call me Doc." "Doc? Emmett L. Brown?" "Why, yes. Your friend in time, Doc Emmett L. Brown. That's you? What are you talking about? You wrote a letter in 1885. Just, people who are reading this with me, just look at that sentence and tell me what's wrong with it. Let's continue. 1885? My dear girl, how could I have been alive in 1885? I don't know. Why is my dad 18 and out on a hoverboard right now? And with that said, there was a crash. Marlene turned to see Griff and his gang crash through the courthouse small windows. "Oh darn, now the mall will be closed. I was hoping to buy a new set of school clothes. Damn, I'm late," Doc said, jumping back in the DeLorean. "Doc, what did my father do with his life?" Marlene asked quickly. "You know, Marlene, one day you might find out," Doc said, and the DeLorean took off. "Great," Marlene said. Then there was a beeping on her wrist. The present time on the watch matched the time of planned departure. The watch began to shine brightly, and before Marlene knew what was happening, there was a flash of blue and white light, and Marlene felt like she was tossed in the air. BTTF, BTTF, BTT. I guess that's supposed to be a sound effect. Okay, so there is chapter 2. I meant to spell "ite" like that. If that what the mistake was, I'm trying L. What? Okay. To the reviewers, Eternal Destiny, ops, that's not what I wanted. Don't you mean oops? That's not what I wanted. Laugh out loud. Sorry, there will be no time pausing after all. Anakin McFly, as you wish. Wait a minute. Is this all? Is this person going to continue writing this story? Okay, so I just reviewed a fanfic that was incomplete. I don't know what else is going to be happening in this story, but it's incomplete. Let's see when this story was last updated. It was last updated October 2nd, 2004! That was like back when I was like in 8th grade practically. Oh my god. Well, from what I've read of this story, people, it was interesting. I liked it, and I probably would have liked it a lot better if it wasn't for the grammar mistakes and ending sentences with commas instead of periods, and, well, you know how picky I can be when it comes to fanfics. Yeah, I can be real picky. Well, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen.